we're doing it the way we do it, and it's always innovative, and it drives everybody crazy. How many of there are like me? I don't know. The studio is my art piece from that front door all the way to Millsats Avenue. I mean, this entire three-dimensional space is a painting for me. Pearl River Glass Studio. We moved into this building in 1976. We've been in Midtown for almost 50 years. Back in the day, before there was computers, I had to do everything full size. You know, and actually by drawing everything full size, I got a much better sense of the scale of windows and how to put all the parts and pieces together. From the beginning, this used to be everything. Everything was in this one building. And then we bought this building in 1985 and started moving into it. So this is the glass painting studio. So this is a restoration project and repair and restoration. These stained glass windows, they're going to go back into a church that was destroyed by the tornado up in Rolling Fork.
This window in particular had a shattered face. It was in storage in Memphis, Tennessee. So most of them just had little repairs to do, but this face here was broken a little bit beyond repair. So I went to the paints to recreate it, and so I'm pretty happy with the results. I was curious if I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to pull it off, but I was like, oh, you know, after so many hours in kiln firings for the paint, to layering it up, it came together.
And I'm working on a Don Quixote. Don Quixote and I are like that. I've never shied away from a challenge, and tilting at windmills, as I say, you know, I identify with that. Our approach is sort of unique. So we really don't have any parallel universe, which I'm not really sure is that great, because it's like, what new thing is this guy thought of, and we're gonna have to figure out how to do it for a budget, right? This was a portrait of Maxine Smith that was done for the historic Claiborne Temple in Memphis, Tennessee. The historic Claiborne Temple was the church that brought Martin Luther King to Memphis, but that's all glass. Okay, so when you fuse it, what you have to do, we'll go in here. You've got large scale kilns, so we can lay the glass out and heat the glass up to like 1500 degrees, and that melts all the glass together. This is probably the first piece of fused glass that I ever did, is this piece right here. You need to put that in the museum. We've been melting glass in our kilns for almost 50 years. So we were a little ahead of the game, I guess you could say. This is our vegetable garden. I have a degree in landscape architecture, so I'm really interested in gardening. And oh my God, watch your step, because we have a pond, and there are hundreds of frogs that have come out of the pond, and they're little bitty frogs like that. So you have to watch your step so you don't step on a frog. So one thing is happening, we think that the tadpoles are eating the mosquito larvae. So we got a system. And I'm gonna, well anyway, eventually that's gonna be improved. We got a lot of work to do. This is primarily the restoration studio, and we did the restoration of the stained glass skylight in the Mississippi House of Representatives. This is a fire door, and it works too. It's my favorite thing in the entire building is this door. It came with the building. This is where we're teaching classes, so people can come in and learn how to put together different fused glass pieces. People would ask me, can you do that? And I would say, yeah, I can do that. Never having done it before in my life. And I would just take the challenge and then break it down and learn as I was doing it. You know, people were paying me to learn how to do stained glass windows, basically. But that process of teaching and learning has been, that's endemic. Wouldn't you say that that's kind of part of what Pearl River is? And the conservatory is all about being able to share the experience of working with glass and being in a creative environment. Because I really believe that, you know, as we move forward as a culture and a society, you need to have people that can think creatively. I like to say that stained glass is the most expressive of any artistic media. It dawned on me that my looking at the windows was what made the art. Because I could shift just ever so slightly, and it would make the shadows and the designs change their location. So that process of seeing, you're engaged with stained glass in a fundamental way. And so the reasons that stained glass windows continue to be relevant to the Christian church or to anybody that goes into a building for worship is that the glass can engage the imagination to allow you to receive whatever you're going to receive, for however that works for you. I think that's the reason that stained glass windows have continued to be relevant for 1,000 years. Walter Anderson has been an influence on me from early days. You know, he was a decorator, he was an artist, and he applied his skills as an artist to help support the family business, right? So that's what I do. In my spare time, I'm creating for myself. In a lot of ways, I've patterned that idea after what I learned from Walter Anderson. The king, Elvis, started going to church, and that's when he started singing with the choir. Yeah. I mean, that's how we learned all those sounds, you know. So it's been a mashup, and that's the wellspring. So I came back to Mississippi because this is what I knew. This is where I was gonna grow from. I think it was that advice that Robert Penn Warren gave to Faulkner, you know, that go back to Mississippi and write about what you know. And that's what he did, right? I get to put Faulkner in my speech. Have I mentioned Van Gogh yet? Just give me 10 minutes and I'll drop some more names.